All right, on tonight's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our Generative AI course, and we're still doing our vector databases. Let's have a look at what we went over tonight. And we're still using our Chroma database, so let's do some light reading and see exactly what we did. We implemented some new code, so let's go over that tonight. So the next thing we want to do is make a retriever. To make our retriever, we're going to call one more method. This is the method we're going to call. So we have the retriever equals vector database as retriever. Notice that our new method is the vector database function as a retriever. Also notice that we stored the new method in a variable called retriever. Next, we will run this particular method by using this retriever. So we have the docs equals retriever dot get relevant documents, and this is the question we're going to make here. How much money did Microsoft raise? Now, this is an article, but this is a question that should be able to be answered once our model reads through all of the text and the articles in our collection. We make that right. Now we can also take a look inside of our docs by writing this command, docs. Let's take a look inside of the documents we have. And this doc should contain the answer to the questions we asked. Let's take a look at what is happening behind the scenes. This is the flow of the program when we run our docs. So let's take a look at what the flow looks like. So we have our data gets stored in or gets converted to embeddings, and it gets stored into our Chroma database. The embeddings are coming from the OpenAI API, and the Chrome database is our local disk. It's a SQLite server. It's being used in local disk in the back end, and the binary is how our data gets stored. Now, when we want to access our data stored in the Chroma database, we make a retrieval request. First, we will create a retriever. So let's go over what that looks like here. Now, from our creator retrieval, we will make a query. Our query will go directly to the database where we have our embeddings stored. And from this query, we will return the output. So this is what that looks like. We have our retriever making a query, and it's making a query directly to the database. This is where we have our stored embeddings. So we have our retriever making a query straight from the database. In a return, in a response, we get back the information we need here as a response. So you can see here the retriever is making a request to the database, and the database sends back a response to the retriever. Here we are performing a similarity search, and based on the similarity search, we are generating a final output. So in our retriever, we are getting a final output. So this here is what we're going to be getting a final output. Now we can actually call one more method. Let me go down. This is the method we can call. Retriever equals vector database as retriever. Search quals equals K2. This code lets us specify how many answers or responses that we will return. So here we are specifying that we want a max of 2 answers or responses. So regardless of how many answers or responses are out there, we only want 2 back. And basically, that's what we went over for the entire night. We actually wrote everything down here, that all the steps that we took, and this is actually our code here with just the code with no notes. So we are still doing both. We are just writing code, and we are taking notes and writing code in this one here. So this one is both the notes and the code, so we can make sure we know exactly what we're doing step by step and how we carrying these things out. And this one here is strictly code. So yep, that's basically everything we went over tonight. And this is the Chroma database still, or the Chroma database. So yeah, and of course we're still using the OpenAI API. Of course, we don't have access to it, so yeah, we're just keeping track of everything. So when we do move on to sources that we can use, we have everything documented. We have all the steps down that we need to move forward. But of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, this is the Python Poppy. You guys stay Gucci.